Part 2. Intense Cosmic Radiation. With the Sun gone, that bubble collapses. The planets closest to the black hole, Mercury and Venus, feel the first orbital perturbations. Without the Sun's radiation pressure and magnetic influence to help stabilize the complex gravitational dance of the solar system, small instabilities that were previously negligible begin to grow. Mars begins to drift. The asteroid belt, which was already in a complex gravitational balance between Jupiter and the former Sun, begins to scatter. Comets that were locked into predictable elliptical orbits begin to change course. The solar system, which has been a remarkably stable and ordered system for over 4 billion years, begins, slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, to come apart. Earth itself remains in orbit because the black hole has the same gravitational pull as the Sun. This is the part that surprises most people. Black holes are not cosmic vacuum cleaners. They do not suck things in from vast distances. They simply exert gravity, the same gravity as whatever mass formed them. If the Sun became a black hole, Earth would not immediately spiral inward. It would continue orbiting, tracing the same elliptical path it always has, held in place by the same gravitational force it has always experienced. But without the constant stabilizing influence of solar radiation, without the electromagnetic pressure that helped maintain the precise balance of the solar system, small perturbations accumulate over time. Orbital paths that were perfectly stable in the presence of a radiating star become slightly less stable around an inert gravitational point. Over millions of years, timescales far beyond human civilization, those small instabilities could grow. The solar system would slowly become a less ordered, less predictable place, and the sky itself would look different. Light from distant stars and galaxies passing near the black hole on its way to our eyes would be bent by the intense gravity. Stars near the black hole in the sky would appear displaced from their actual positions. The images of galaxies behind it would be stretched into arcs and rings. The black hole itself would be invisible, not because it's small, but because no light escapes from it. It would be a region of pure absence, a circular void in the star field, defined only by the distorted light around its edges. Beautiful, in a way that is entirely indifferent to human survival. If Earth ever drifted close enough, over timescales so vast they're nearly meaningless in human terms, the gravitational gradient across the planet's width would begin to create tidal forces. And near the event horizon, time itself would behave differently. A clock near a black hole ticks slower than one far away, not as a trick of perception, but as a genuine physical reality. Two people at different distances from the black hole would age at different rates. Time, the most fundamental constant of human experience, would become relative to position in space. The universe, it turns out, is far stranger than our everyday experience suggests. Back on Earth, the cooling continues without pause and without mercy. The atmosphere, stripped of its energy source, grows still and cold. The surface, which once received a constant influx of solar energy, now only loses heat, to space, to the void, to the universe's natural tendency toward cold and equilibrium. The oceans, which held their warmth longest, eventually begin to freeze at depth. The ice spreads not just across the surface but downward, kilometer by kilometer, over centuries and millennia. The only remaining heat sources are geothermal, the slow decay of radioactive elements deep in Earth's mantle and core, the residual heat left over from the planet's formation 4.5 billion years ago. Life retreats toward these sources. Deep caves, geothermal regions, the ocean floor around hydrothermal vents. These become the last refuges, the final pockets of warmth in an increasingly frozen world. And eventually, what remains is not destruction in any dramatic sense. There is no explosion, no final catastrophic moment, no single second when everything ends. Instead, there is simply absence. A frozen world, locked in ice and silence, orbiting a dark object in an empty, slowly disintegrating solar system. No light, no warmth, no seasons, no tides driven by sunlight, no photosynthesis, no weather, no familiar cycles of any kind. Just gravity and cold and the slow, patient unwinding of everything that was once alive. The most important realization, the one that stays with you long after you've thought through all of this, is that nothing broke instantly. Here was no single catastrophic failure, no one moment when the universe decided to end things. Everything simply lost the energy that held it together. Because the Sun was never just another object in space. It was the reason anything in this system is alive, moving, ordered,